Hey, what's up? Alright, let's see where we left off. If this will ever load. Okay. Gnarl Bark. 4 mana druid spell. Gain 12 armor. Destroy your mana crystals. You gain an additional mana at the start of your turn. Wow. My biggest inspiration for this card was Astral Communion. I don't think this one lives up though. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I think it's the best iteration of a severely flawed concept. Balance gets a 1 because it just seems really bad. I don't really know how you utilize it properly. You pretty much have to just like slam it on 4 or you're pretty much hopeless. And the flavor gets a 1. Turmic Toil Brew. Your spells cost 1 mana and 7 health. I don't think this would ever be neutral. It's cool on neutral, but I mean, it's a very warlocky effect. I'll give this a 4-star card. Or I'll give this 4 stars. Actually, I'll give it 3 stars. I think 7 health is a bit too much. Hey, what's up, Cheese? I think that it's a bit too polarized. I think this is a flawed, maybe a workable concept, but it would need a decent amount of work. Yeah, I think there's just too much potentially broken synergies. I mean, not broken, but just like it's really bad, and it's only good if you have like Violet Illusionist or something. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really feeling this card. So in its current state, it's not super balanceable, and the flavor is fine. Flintlock Bayonet. After your hero attacks a minion, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Okay, I'm actually gonna give the flavor a 2 because it's like a sword attached to a gun, which I think is just really funny. So you swing with the sword and then shoot with the gun. I think this is a pretty fair, flavorful rogue card. Maybe a bit on the hunter side. I like the art, but it's pretty goofy. It doesn't make any sense. I just don't think there's enough weapons in Hearthstone that have distinguished like hunter and rogue's weapon styles, so I'm not gonna dock it too much for that. So I'll give it 3 for just being a solid weapon. And for balance, I'll give it a 2 because you could make this balanced if it's too strong. Pandemic Beasts. Summon a 3/3 bug with lifesteal and 1 with poisonous. Only 1 can attack per turn. Okay, I'm gonna give this a 2. I think the concept of only 1 can attack per turn is interesting, but I don't know how you could even utilize it. The poisonous one is like the lifesteal one, it usually won't matter, and the poisonous one, like, it'll be very obvious when you need to use that one. I don't think the drawback is really that cool. I think 5 stars. I just don't think it plays very well. It's just like the text box is interesting. It's not actually difficult to track though. Right? Like people say that, but like when you think about it, it's really not difficult to track. I mean, either way, I don't think that's what's holding back the card. I just think it doesn't play very well. Balance. It could be balanced, but yeah, I don't know. The flavor gets a 1. Okay, Cyrella the Stained. So this is a 5 mana 4/4 battle card. Summon a 4/4 soldier for each friendly secret that was revealed last turn. I think this is a bit more. This is kind of cool compared to like other secret synergy cards because like if this were to ever become a meta card and you're playing Secret Paladin, it's very obvious. You can limit the rate at which you trigger your opponent's secrets so that this is not like a 5 mana 16/16. So I actually think it's actually a pretty cool legendary design. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I'm gonna say it's balanceable, but it probably needs to be toned down a little bit. Maybe like a 4 mana 3/3 or something, 4 mana 3/2 or 2/3. And the flavor, I'm gonna give it a 1. It's supposed to be like a Glass Knight. This is supposed to be the Glass Knight person, basically. Even as a 5 mana 8/8, this is strong. Yeah, that's true, but like you have to run Paladin secrets, and they have to be triggered post turn 5. I don't think it feels bad. I think it just needs to be toned down a little bit. If it's like a 5 mana 3/3 or a 4 mana 3/3, 4 mana 6/6 is like really not that bad. There's definitely counterplay. I just think it needs balance, but I think there's lots of numbers on the card that you could change to make it balanced. You could even just make the soldiers like 2/2 and make it 4 mana. But yeah, quick serve, line cook, battle cry, copy all cards you drew this turn. I'm gonna give this 4 stars as a. I think it's on par with Chromagus. I would rate Chromagus a 4-star card from a design standpoint, and I think this is like better than Chromagus in certain ways and worse than Chromagus in certain ways. I think something that's yeah, I know I made so many chef cards. I should put them all in a little album and see which one's the best. But Chromagus is kind of cool because you have to kind of go all in, and you're really hoping to get something great from the couple draws that you're gonna get with it. This one allows you to choose more, which is like good from a player interaction standpoint, but is less exciting as a result. So that's my thought on this. Balance, it's balanceable. Flavor, I'll give it a 2. The idea is that he's like making meals, obviously but he's like making them quickly, and he's a line cook, so he's making the same meals over and over again. It's like order up or something. I don't know. Maybe that's a stretch. Nature's Compromise. Discover, choose 1 spell, add copies of both choices to your hand. 2 stars? I think that this augments the Discover in a meaningful way, but it doesn't really explore anything new that Steladris didn't, and Steladris is like supposed to be an interesting, exciting legendary 1 of, and this is now a 2 of that does the same thing, so I don't know. It's probably balanced. You can make it 3 mana. Actually, probably should be 3 mana. Because you're drawing 3 cards. Or like maybe 4 mana, I don't know. The flavor gets a 1. Steamroller. After this attacks, gain +1/+1. I'm gonna give this a 2 for flavor because I think the name's. Maybe I'm overrating the name, but I think it works well because it has synergy with Wind Fury and it's a wind elemental. I'm gonna give the design 3 stars. It's a very steamrolly, snowbally mechanic. But I think that's something that Shaman excels at. Wind Fury in general is just a very snowbally mechanic, so I'm thinking back to days of like Whirling Zap-O-Matic and Tunnel Trog and Flame Tongue Totem. If you leave a couple Shaman minions on the board, sometimes they can get you. It's flappy but balanced. I mean, yeah, it's a little better than flappy because you can attack minions, and you have to give it Wind Fury in order to get the OP-ness. So I think it's balanceable. Maybe like I don't know. You'd have to play test it. It might be too strong, might be too weak, but I think it's fine. It's like a little Shaman rare. I think generally any 3-star design card I would be okay with seeing in the game. There's probably some exceptions. Like I probably would not want to see Gnarlbark in the game. Yeah, there's definitely some exceptions, but okay, I take that back. But most 3-star cards that I've made are like acceptable to be in the game, in my opinion. So I think this is acceptable. Blood of Avenger. This is not the first 4 mana 1/7 neutral common Rusticon's Rumble card that I made, which is funny. So I would probably want to change the stats a little bit to differentiate it from Vainglorious Victor. I think it's a neat enough riff on Grobashi Berserker. I think it's pretty flavorful because he's avenging the damage that he's taking. I'll give it a 3-star for being like a neat one-up on Grobashi Berserker. Obviously it's worse in some ways if like multiple pings don't do as much, so it's probably balanceable. Okay, Flame Soul Weapon. I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I think this is way better than the Victory Feast card. This works with Wind Fury a lot better. Parallels Rockbiter Weapon. I'm gonna give it a 2 for that, for flavor, and I think it's perfectly balanced. It's a pretty hefty 0 mana buff, but is that 1 mana Paladin spell give +3 attack or Blessing of Might? Is that? Yeah, it's +3 attack, so I think this is pretty balanced. Hemoglobule is like a weird reverse magnetic. I don't really know what I was thinking. Probably balanceable, but it doesn't really matter because it's not very well designed. Idea was like, what if magnetic was built off of a previous, like, what if we went back in time and designed the precursor to magnetic? Basically like extra arms is to twin spell. This was the idea. But it's just weird. And like weird with hand buffs and just weird in general. Or Golem. Okay, I'm gonna give this a 2 for flavor because I think it's pretty funny. I'm gonna give the design 4 stars because I think this is a strong mage minion which complements maybe cheese. I think they're pretty like unique mechanics in their own way, but this is a strong mage minion which complements mage's strengths rather. So it's an interesting one. It's better than Coldara Dweller. It's I'm gonna say it's balanceable. It's definitely like numerically insane. Like 7 mana 7/7, and then like a pretty big spell damage on it is pretty insane. Of course, it's not a playable card, which is always like a weird situation because you don't want to like completely power creep stuff so that it's like if this sticks then you just lose. But I think spell damage +2 is completely fine on this card if it was to be too strong. So, small egos. Crowskin Sacrifice. Echo. Deal 1 damage to a minion. If the target is friendly, increase damage by 1. I'm going to give this 4 stars. I'm going to give it 2 for flavor, but I'm going to give it 1 for balance. So I think that it's really flavorful. This idea that you're sacrificing and, you know, hurting your own minions and then getting this really powerful spell that you get to now just have like deal 4 damage to an enemy. But you can only cast this 5 times. So you're either getting like a really shitty cheap shot, or you can, if you cast it on 1 friendly minion, now you're getting like, you could get 4 cheap shots at 10 mana. It doesn't work well with the mana, and that's why I'm giving it 1 for balance, because it's a really bad card. But I think it's very cool. And yeah, Egg Synergy, of course. Deal 4 damage to a minion. If they were undamaged, draw a card. Wording needs work on this one. It should be slightly different, but I'm gonna give this a 4 star for a common rogue spell. I think it just makes sense. I think it's definitely balanceable, and the flavor gets a 1. Definitely feels a bit. Wording needs work. Also might mess with mana to not compete with Walk the Plank, because we just now have a 4 mana. The damage should be double. Oh, this thing. If the target is friendly, double the damage. Wait, that's a good idea. Then it goes 1, 2, 4, and then 4 is pretty good. You could double it a maximum of. You could have your first one be 1, second one be 2, third one be 4, fourth one be 8. So fifth one could be 16, maybe. Maybe I miscounted that. But yeah, I like that idea actually. I think it's still unbalanced, but it's better. Nanotechnologist. You guys probably can't read this, but it's 5 mana 5/5. Shuffle 5 1/1 drones into your deck that draw a card when played, and it's just a 1/1 battle cry draw a card. I don't really remember what I was thinking with this card. Competes with bombs too much. Plus, not that much synergy, in my opinion. It's probably balanceable. Flavor gets a 1. I'm gonna give it a 2. I think it's a pretty unfinished concept. Kargoth Blade Fist has +2/+2 for each weapon you've equipped this game. I actually kind of like this. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It's a bit like floaty, but I mean, they kind of did that with Bolvar. Of course, you can see the stats increase in hand, but this thing can get pretty potent pretty quickly, but you have to run a lot of weapons. It's pretty simple. Yeah, that's probably balanceable. You can make it 4 mana if it's OP, or adjust the stats that it gains. And the flavor, I think, is a 2. I think this is pretty flavorful to Kargoth's character. I mean, his name is Blade Fist, so I'd assume he has a lot to do with weapons. I could be wrong. Imagine the Thief Rogue. Oh my gosh, yeah. Every hero power. It would be like a second Edwin, a 3-mana 14/14, 15/15 or whatever. It has to be odd, but I think this is flavorful to WoW. I'm gonna put that in the comments. Living Dead. Summon a 1/1 zombie with taunt for each other spell you cast this turn. So this is a very clear. Oh yeah, Cutlass. That's fair. It would still probably be good. It would still probably be like a 3-mana 7/7 or something. This is a very clear like riff on what's it called? Sand Drudge? You kind of have to like count how many spells you cast, which can be a bit annoying. I don't think Rogue generally generates this type of board either, or Priest, so not a very priesty card. I think the Miracle Archetype should evolve, acquire minions. Okay, so like I like how Sandroge is a minion, and I think this card being a spell kind of defeats the point of what Blizzard is going for with Zoo Rogue. I keep saying Rogue. What the hell's wrong with me? Zoo Priest. Balance. It's probably balanced. I think it's perfectly balanced. And the flavor, I think gets a 2. I think it's decent enough for flavor. Okay, wow. These 2 cards suck. Okay, Frigid Spirit. Summon a 2/3 Spirit Wolf with Taunt. A little bit like Biteweed. Yeah. Biteweed sucks. Oh my god, I can't believe they printed that. Okay, I think this is actually a 4. It just needs to have Overload 2. I was trying to avoid giving it Overload 2 when I was designing it, but I think it's perfectly balanced. Change card to have Overload 2. I think it's perfectly balanced if it has Overload 2. And the flavor gets a 1. Fellweed Tea. Deal 2 damage to a minion and the hero who doesn't control it. I actually kind of like this one. I think it turned out well. It's a nice little bit of burst. If you just need like a little bit of burst in a zoo deck, just 0 mana, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Like you can usually do that. But it's also just like a backstab. I think it's a bit unbalanced. I'm gonna put it at 1 because I don't think any numbers are suitable for this card. I had to make it 0 mana so that it wouldn't step on Soul Bomb or whatever it's called. That's card's toes, and the flavor's fine. I don't really know, it's just a T, I guess. Okay, now we get to the Uldum cards. Now to invalidate all my predictions. Give your hero a Gorn. I think it's the best iteration of a flawed concept. It's completely balanced. Like, I think it's fine. And the flavor gets a 1, but I don't think we'll see this. That's all I'll say. This was like the first day Reborn came out, so like I was just trying to play with the mechanic. Rugged Scavenger, I think, is a 5-star card from a design standpoint. Oh my god! This gamer finally made a YouTube account. What's up, Purse? Purse Evil. This is so weird. We have to stop shit talking you now. I think it works really well with Reborn minions. That's why I'm giving it a 5 for design. I think it's also perfectly balanced, and the flavor gets a 1. Okay, Trailblazer Trog was an interesting attempt at a card. If you're holding a quest, gain 2 empty mana crystals. Why is it lame? Mr. Neutral Common Master. I think it works well in an Uldum set because it deals with Reborn minions, and it just generally is like a fine ping. Like a very conditional but small ping. Like imagine you're a non-ping class. You could just run this card and it's probably decent, right? Maybe I'm overrating it. Maybe it should be 4-star, but like, I don't know. Like I look back at cards like Huge Toad and Flame Juggler. Well, maybe not so much Flame Juggler, but like I like those cards. I think they serve a good purpose. Flame Juggler was a bit swingy, looking back at it. Anyway, Trailblazer Trog, I posted this on Reddit and no one got that holding a quest means it's literally in your hand. I'm going to give this a 2-star for like attempting to push a new direction for quests. So basically you hold it, play this on 4, and now you have a ton of extra mana to complete it quicker. But, I don't know. Yeah, I agree, Purse. I like this card a little bit. But it's bad from a lenticular's perspective. It's like telling you to not play your quest until really late. It like should be a legendary, but it shouldn't. You know, it's one of those awkward like. It kind of needs to be a one-of, but you don't want to make it a legendary. So there's like a lot of flaws with this card, but I think the intent is really cool. That's why I'm giving it a 2. Plague of Rot. I don't know how to feel about this card because I think there's a good chance that this is still an accurate prediction. 1 to play, 1 to activate. Yeah, I guess you could do that in Wild. I think that I agree, Purse. What's it called? Plague of Venom or Plague of Poison? What is it that we actually got? Plague of Madness. I think this might have been what it originally was. Though the art really contradicts it. I actually don't think it was what it was. If you look at the art for Plague of Madness, I think it was more of a mass hysteria type effect. I think they kept the name Plague of Madness and put a completely unrelated effect, which is poison. Anyway, this gets a 2-star for design, 1-star for balance, and a 1-star for flavor. It's really only useful with Wild Pyromancer. It has to be balanced completely around Wild Pyromancer. So yeah, this card can't exist. Shouldn't exist. And it's really just not that interesting when played on a full board. Okay. Apologies for not being able to read this. This is Magnificent Curation. Play 8 minions that didn't start in your deck. Reward Living Museum, which is the first minion you play each turn, costs 2. I'm going to give this 4 stars. I think this is a bit more of an Ungoro-styled quest. After seeing another quest revealed... Another 2 quests revealed? Yeah, what was the major one? It's like, yeah, we've seen 2 more quests revealed. Like, the Uldum quests are, like, really just easy. Like, I don't know. They're just not hard. So play 8 minions that didn't start in your deck is more Ngoro style. I agree, Purse. The hero power works against it. I'm going to give it a 3 for that as well, actually. The idea is that you have to... This is a very Ngoro style quest hero. Because you have to build your deck around the hero power as well. I'm going to give it a 3, but... It's probably balanceable in the flavor. I actually like the flavor. I'm going to give it 2. The idea is that Reno stole the curator's notes because the Reno and the curator kind of have an interaction. And so he's learning to start his own curation, basically. So yeah. Radiant Sunstrider. Reborn. What? Is it really? This card has used art? Are you serious? You're joking. If it's adventure, I don't care. I've used so much adventure art in here. Okay, this is another 3, I think. I give the other one a 3. Used art for Mage Quest. Yeah, I know. This was before the Mage Quest. I designed this on day 1 of Uldum. I also like predicted what Finley would be, and it's wrong. Okay, Radiant Sunstrider. It's a 3. It's a really flawed concept. The health interaction is unintuitive. I think it's pretty paladin-y though. Probably balanceable, and the flavor gets a 1. Not much to say about it. Okay, this was an attempt at like a singleton-ish mechanic. Reveal a card from your deck. If your deck started with 1 copy of it, gain 5 armor. I'm gonna give it a 2 for attempting something, but like you would never run this in a deck that didn't go full on singleton. So why beat around the bush in the way that it accomplishes its mechanic? I don't know. I was trying something new. So it's a 2. Grave Spade, battle cry, discover a death rattle minion. 3 design. I guess it's a fine common weapon. It's literally just like a spell effect, journey below stapled to a shovel. So yeah, I don't know. It's balanceable. The flavor gets a 1. Yeah, it's journey below on a stick. Give it a 2 for that. It's really not interesting. Yeah, I mean, sure, make it 4 mana or make it a 2/2 or something. I don't really care. I didn't really think about that much. Rambling Rubbish. If this was destroyed by your cards, resummon this. Okay, I think this is actually 4. I like this. You can use it to heal it, basically, with your own cards. You can use it to kind of auto-complete your self-destroy effects, but like it's 4 mana, 5/4. So you'd rather just kill a 1/1 or an egg or something. I think it's perfectly balanced, and I like the flavor. Yeah, Loophole confuses everyone a lot. Oh, Lord Godfrey loop? Eh. If you can line it up, then sure, you deserve a full board clear, right? Yeah, Loophole confuses everyone. This card is just... It gets a 3 for balance, I'll tell you that much, and a 2 for flavor. But, yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of a meme card. It reminds me of, like, Acid No River's Paradox. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It's really confusing on how it works. Mercy Killing. Deal damage equal to the highest attack among friendly characters. I think this is pretty roguey. I'll give it a 3. It's a bit unintuitive, or just like hard to parse. It's not unintuitive, it just takes a while to figure out what it does. I think it's cool that it works with your hero. It's like a blessed champion for a rogue, kind of like a finisher card, but you have to work for it. Like, getting this to a fireball is good, but you have to have a 6 attack somewhere, so I think it's pretty balanceable. I think it's balanced as is, but I mean maybe 5 mana just in case. And the flavor gets a 1. Okay, so the idea with Wrangler Finley is that since Finley uses a random basic hero power, he knows to only ping enemy minions and to only heal friendly minions. Or only ping enemies and to only do damage equal to the highest attack friendly character's attack. Yeah, it's kind of a mouthful. I just erased Finley. I don't think there's a best wording for that card. I'm gonna give this a 3 for being a decent try. It's wrong. It's not what Finley is. I'm really curious as to what they're gonna do with Finley, because he was hero powers. That was his thing, but they basically can't do that because the quest is gonna give a hero power. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out. It's balanceable, probably should have 1 less health, and its flavor gets a 1. Finley might be Silverhand synergy. I'll be sad if that's true. I doubt it. It'll be 1 health synergy. The quest will probably be unrelated to 1 health. Reverse Seer. Replace cards in your hand with the card that generated it. This is like a custom HS card if I've ever seen it. It doesn't play well at all, but I guess it's a neat concept. Probably balanceable if you had to implement it, but I mean, I don't know. It's just a theory craft card. Venom Spiller. I knew minions have poisonous. Okay, I feel like I messed the flavor up on this one. Why Death Rattle? So that you can silence it, and so that it doesn't infinite with battle cries. Just to stop a stopgap against anything broken that it might cause, because it's a card that has risk of breaking the game. I think Venom Spiller I'm gonna give 4 stars and 2 for balance. I think it's pretty cool. Like, it's a bit unintuitive. That's why it's an epic, because if you have an Elven Archer will destroy this. If your opponent has Elven Archer in their hand, it will destroy this. But I think it's a really fair 4-mana 7/7. It's pretty fun, I would say. As an aggro deck, you might clear your opponent's board for one so that you can play Venom Spiller, which I think is both players are going to be happy about. And so that's how it gets a 4-star. And so past this we have our 1 through 10 common cards. We have a small set. So we have the 1 through 10 common cards, and then we have just a couple more cards, and then we have the 300s. So I guess we'll finish it up right now. There's like 10 more cards. All right, cool. So Scarlet Party Goer. If you can't read this, it's a 1-mana 1/2 at the start of your turn. Summon a 1/1 follower. This is inspired by Burb's Time Walker Initiate, which is a 1-mana 1/1 at the start of your turn, game +1/+1. I think it's just a super potent, fun aggro card. I don't think this should be common. I give it a 3 for that. Summoning things at the start of your turn. I mean, I disagree. Actually, I think it's probably fine. Like in today's standards, I think it's definitely balanceable. You could make it a 1/1 if you're concerned, and the flavor is pretty cool. I think it's like basically a guy who just gets people to follow him at a party. Pastoral Tiller. Battlecry, give the enemy hero 5 armor. I think this is a 5-star card. I think a lot of players will see this and just want to put this in their deck, just because it's a 2-mana 2/4. It's a lot like Mistress of Mixtures or Zombie Chow. Takes a lot of cues from those cards, but yeah. Also, glad you're here, Purse, for this, because this is your specialty. I think it's perfectly balanced, and the flavor gets a 1. Actually, the flavor gets a 2. You're basically like giving your opponent clothes. Yeah, that's one of my more favorite cards. Fierce Blood Talon. Whenever an adjacent minion dies, gain +1/+1. I'm gonna give it a 2 for design. I think stuff like Fungal Mancer and Direwolf Alpha interact with adjacent minions in a more clear and immediate way. And this has like a weird pseudo taunt where you don't want to kill adjacent minions, so I don't know. It just doesn't feel that good, in my opinion. I guess you can like trade with it and get it to be really big. I'll give it a 3 for that, is that if you have a board full of minions that can attack, you can line this up in a way that's like interesting for you, but it just feels weird for your opponent. So maybe it should be rare in order for this to be a real card. I think it's balanceable, and the flavor gets a 1, but I don't really like the card that much. Okay, Ecor Revenant. Costs 1 less for each mana spent on spells this turn. So I think this should be a rare. I think this kind of failed as a common. A little bit. It's not awful, but like compared to Arcane Tyrant, it's a bit of a jump. I'm gonna give the design 3 stars. It's a bit worrisome about how much tempo you can like slam out in Wild, I guess. Actually, I'll give it 4 stars. I think in Standard it plays really well, and in Wild it shouldn't really have to matter. Cause like, I don't know, 20 mana worth of, or like 20 stats on board, if you use like 4 cards, is like fine. Yeah, I'll say that. I think it's balanceable, and it's fine for flavor. Okay, Lightsworn Seeker, Rush, Wind Fury. I'm gonna give it a 2. I think we'll see it eventually, but I'll give it a 3 just because I think we'll see it at eventually. I don't think it's super interesting. It's like fine. I'm not a huge fan, but whatever. It's balanceable and the flavor is fine. Rotting Meat Wall. Battlecry. Gain -3/-3. Okay, I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I think this is something where there's enough synergy in the game for this card to be utilized. There's Res, there's Silence, there's Recruit, there's Summon from Hand, there's... I already said Resurrect. But yeah, I think there's enough synergy in this game where this is a fair card. I think it's balanceable. I think it could probably be like 4 mana, gain -4/-4 or something. I think it's just pretty fun to pull off. It's a lot like Injured Blade Master, which is I think a community favorite card. So yeah, I think this card succeeds. I guess Injured Blade Masters are rare, so I think we've reached a complexity level where this is fine at common. Iridescent Fade Drake is just a pretty big campy targeted thing. Give it a 3 for design. I don't know. Doesn't inspire much, I guess. It's probably balanced, and the flavor is fine because it's a fairy dragon. It's just big. Yep. I don't know, not much to say here. Fenstrider. If you're holding at least 6 cards, gain charge. This card, it feels cobbled together, in my opinion. I don't think cards have to feel super elegant as long as they're like fine enough. I think this is a bit too like, strewn together though. The 6 cards kind of comes out of nowhere, and like charge, I feel like will mostly just end up being used as rush, because the decks that hold 6 cards and on turn 7 like don't really care about 6 space damage. So I'm gonna give it a 2. I think it needs some work. I disagree. I think 6 cards is actually a lot. Or I think it's a very fair number, but I mean, I guess 7. If anything, I'd up it to 7 and just rework it. I think like just having it gain stats is better than gaining charge, because like I don't know, the deck that holds 7 cards. Really, I would say it's like 4. I could be misjudging. I'm sure it depends a lot on the meta, and obviously depends on what deck you're playing. But I think gaining stats would just be better than gaining charge. But yeah, I mean it's probably balanceable as is, but I'd like to see some rework of this card. Dark Iron Dagger can only attack undamaged enemies. I think this is a 4. I think it's just pretty flavorful for Rogue. I said flavorful, but I meant like mechanically in line. It's not flavorful as in Dark Iron Dagger. I'm just misspeaking at this point. It's really late. But anyway. Probably balanceable. Might need some stat tweaking, but yeah, whatever. And the flavor is fine. I'd loosely base it off of Dark Iron Skulker, I guess. Okay, Guardian, Voidworm, and Dimension Walker play around with the starting in your opening hand mechanic. So Guardian Voidworm is if this card started in your opening hand, gain +5 health. I think these cards are both 3s and that they're the best execution of an inherently flawed concept. This one is a battle cry, so like you're gaining a bonus if this started in your hand. I don't think I need to super go into why this mechanic is flawed. I guess it's interesting because it incentivizes you to hold this card in your hand when you normally probably wouldn't keep a 4-mana minion. I think you get a pretty fair reward. This next one is very different in that it transforms into a 1/3 Voidwalker, so the mana cost changes. I did not steal these from MTG. I don't know what the mechanic from MTG is that has stuff to do with opening hand, but I didn't steal these from MTG. You like Dimension Walker better. I think it has the issue of it kind of like eclipses what Voidwalker does. Like, I mean, I don't know, like drawing this on turn 2 sucks, so like you might still want to run Voidwalker, but it like transforming into a collectible card makes that original card feel weird now. And yeah, I think it could be a 7/6, it'll be fine. The flavor gets a 1, it's fine. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Not my fave, but like, it was worth a try. Wow, these have the same exact rating. It's funny. Okay, Bunker Keeper gets a 1, I don't like it. Doesn't do anything meaningfully different than like, what the heck? doesn't do anything meaningfully different than like Sun for your Protector, because you have to kill this. I guess you could silence it and then you can avoid giving the adjacent minions taunt, but like in like a traditional hand lock, if you have like 2 mountain giants, then like this is just better than Sun for your Protector. Yeah, I don't know, I hate this card. It's unbalanceable too, in my opinion, because like it just does the same exact stuff as Sun for your Protector, and the flavor is unremarkable. Frost Sanctum. At the start of your turn, deal 2 damage to and freeze all enemy minions played last turn. I'll give it a 3 stars. I think it's a bit clunky. Ideally, basically, at the start of your turn, cast Blizzard on only the minions that were played last turn. It has some weird freeze interactions. I mean, it's not that awful for freeze interactions. I think most players kind of understand how freeze works at this point. It's always just a bit weird when stuff gets freezed on turns that you don't expect, and then it feels like it's frozen for a really long time, but this is in line with other freeze cards. Okay, anyway. I feel like Mage's secrets tend to be more single target and not more AoE. They tend to affect a single card, not multiple, compared to like Paladins, which Paladin has a couple which affect multiple. It's probably balanced, in my opinion. I think it's perfectly balanced, and the flavor is fine, but not a huge fan. I wouldn't like to see this card in the game. Magic Wand, on the other hand, I'm gonna give it 4 star. I think with the whole miracle direction that Mage has gone in a little bit, having this be a 1-mana spell, whereas Kabalaki was a 1-mana 2/1, I think this card plays a lot different than Kabalaki. You can have 0-mana secrets now with, what's that card? Sorcerer's Apprentice. And like, secrets can be playable now in the Miracle deck, or at least are not useless when you generate them, which I think is cool. Mage secrets basically need synergy to see play. It's kind of an unfortunate state of affairs, but something like this would help a lot. As long as they keep the secret synergy, they slowly push it in, instead of doing a Cabal Crystal Runner thing where 0-mana 5/5 and you have... I mean, I guess they did it slowly with Cabal Crystal Runner, but Secret Mage was annoying for a while. I think it's balanced, perfectly balanced, if a bit strong. But I think it's fine because it pushes a deck that doesn't exist right now, or at least augments a current deck. And flavor gets a 1. And now the final 2 cards. These are going to be tough to rate because they're so different. I think it's already better than Kabalaki by virtue of not being a 2/1, or by not being a minion rather. Okay, I'm going to start with Exarch Verdun. I'm going to give this one, I think, 3 stars. Could be 4 stars if I said your damage is doubled. I don't know why I did the parallel effect. It's so hard to reach this damage count. You really should be rewarded if you decide to run this card and hold it until then. It's not impossible to track. It'll just say 300 remaining under the card. Or 200 remaining, you know, like Genelai. Needs a Mage low account? Yeah, I agree. It's just like Genelai, the card doesn't have it on the actual collectible card, so I didn't put it on here. As for balance, yeah, this gets a 0. It's completely unbalanceable. With the stipulation that this card is completely unbalanceable with the stipulation that the number is 300. I think if you change it to 150 or something, or like even 100, honestly, I think it would be a bit more fair. But then it ruins the point, so yeah, I don't know. And for the flavor, it gets a 1. I'm going to give this flavor for Sandgrifter Solomon a 2. I'm going to rate this a 4 star for design. Obviously, the biggest thing holding this back is like Hearthstone's animations. What? Do you hate this card or something? People have been asking for like chess clock mode for a really long time. Purse, these designs are heavily weighted around the stipulation that you need to include 300 on the card text. So fine, I'll drop it to 3. But I think people ask for chess clock mode. I think if this card was banned in competitive play, it would be cool. And just like you could use it in constructed, but not like Hearthstone Tour. It's not meant to be like LOL punish control deck XD. It's more just meant to be like both players have this fun game to play. I'm gonna give this one a 1 because it's more feasibly balanceable than this one, but it's still very flawed. Yeah, obviously, but I think it's like the best you could do if you're forcing yourself to put 300 on a card text. Like, if I rated these both holistically, like on my normal scale, then like it would be impossible to get a card with 300 in the card text that's anything other than a 1-star design, in my opinion, based on all the 300 cards that I've seen so far. So like, yeah, maybe it's a Tyrant Brawl. It's a neat concept. These are obviously like the most unrealistic cards out of the whole bunch, but I think they're decent enough in what they are doing. And that's it. That's every single card rated. I think if I start messing with the sorting, it like messes up the spreadsheet, unfortunately. So like I could try to sort this, but oh no, I guess it works. So here's all the 5-star cards. Here's all the 4-star cards. I'm going very fastly. There's a lot of 4-star cards. Can you guys hear me? I think I'm good. Just a decent amount of 2s. Some 1s. So I guess we'll look at the worsts. The worst of the worst. Bunker Keeper is 3 stars total. This one's 3 stars total. Ooh, this one's 2 stars total. Garbage the Devourer. This one's 2 stars total. Even though it's one of my favorites out of the whole bunch. There wasn't a ton of 1 designs, because like, I mean, usually if a card was a 1 in design, I just didn't hit the create button, or I refined it until I knew it was poorly designed. These are usually the result of me being angry and just wanting to press create, because I was getting bored of looking at a card. But I mean, let's look at the top, I guess. So let's see what cards were perfect. Pilfergeist. That got a 5/3/3. That might be the only one. 4 Drevenant got a 5/3/2. I think his cards are cool. This one got a 5/3/2. This one got a 5/2/3. Though I really think it should be 2. I'm gonna change it to 2. It's really not that intricate of a flavor. This one got a 5/2/2, interestingly. I might be overrating this a bit. This one got a 5/2/2. This one got a 5/3/2. 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 I think pretty much everything that has a 5-star for design are like some of my favorite cards that we made. Some of the 4s are really cool in my opinion too. Most of the 3s I don't like. There's some in there that I put in the comments that I do like it. So I'm gonna have to pick like 10 favorite cards, 10 least favorite cards, something like that. Make a blog post or something. I'll figure it out. Okay, let me hit Control-Z. Ooh, what the heck? Okay, there we go. And I guess while we're at it, we can look through the community ratings of the most recent 30 cards. I posted a forum today and like within an hour it had 6 responses, which I was happy with because I've been waiting to get 6 responses or 5 to get before moving on to the next one. Okay, so Coldar Dweller got a 2.17. Yeah, I posted a forum today. It's in the description if you want to. I think this is fair. Trusty Tuskar got a 3. That's fine. This is fine. Naraki Replicant with a 3 is fine. Undying Geomancer. I feel like it's a little better. Maybe people thought it was too overpowered. I feel like this one should be lower. I feel like this one should be lower. I feel like this one should be a bit lower. Zero Souls is fine. Obsidian Giant's fine. This one should be lower. I feel like this is pretty accurate. I like this. 4.33. This one's also pretty good. Sharkbait Battler should be lower. Yeah, I can't believe I rated this at 3. I would rate it at 2 right now. I commented so bad. Nothing too bad. I don't like Metamorphosis. I wonder what the lowest rated card right now is. Let's see. Oh. Unnaturalized, maybe? Why does everyone hate this card? I don't get it. Void Ranger Illyria. What's this? I don't know if you're saying that sarcastically, but the way I have these set up is it's a transposed data row and it goes downwards, so I actually can't hit sort. Or maybe I can, but it will mess up. I'll show you. Okay, I think it actually worked. Hold on. Yeah, it actually works. You just can't see the number now. So here, I'll sort by lowest again. So yeah, people did not like this one, Void Ranger Illyria. And these numbers are wrong. Don't pay attention to these numbers. People want like Mitra do leftovers, unfortunate. Could do the same for top. Let's see. Flightless Pterodax. These two cards suck. I hate these cards. I give it a 3 and a 2. Wow. Can't believe these are the two highest rated cards. I hate them both. Chrono Visionary is pretty cool. Voon's Goon doesn't deserve a high rating. Trick or Treat is fine. Shifting Servant deserves it. Hiking Vikings deserves it. Curse Collector deserves it. Pterodax is like boring though. I don't know. This is not the best card I've designed on stream. I'm not complaining. Of course, like aggregating so many ratings, I think it works in practice. Like I don't know, just like not interesting. But yeah, aggregating this many ratings is bound to like have some weird results. Also, Renewed Sowings is dumb. Justified Mallet is dumb. Experience Game is dumb. Apathetic Broker's kind of dumb. Soul Splitter Epitaph is dumb, so dumb. Molten Earth Fury is so dumb. Cryptic Murkmaker is dumb. Okay, you guys probably don't want to listen to me just like complain, but yeah. Now the annoying thing is like, so I guess this will probably be the last stream for a little bit. I'll be off next week. Like, I'll be on vacation, so I won't be able to do any streams, and so I guess I'll just be finishing up posting these ratings periodically without the next few days. I don't know when I will get around to do the Reddit post. I was gonna like maybe record a video, but I don't know, it's tough. I don't think anyone will actually watch it, so I'm not doing a vacation vlog stream. But so I'm either gonna wait until after next week to record a video and make a reflection post, or it will be sometime during next week and it won't have a video. There's no such thing as a slush set. I don't know what you're talking about. Dude, I would do it if True didn't like feel bad about it, but he does, so I'm not gonna like go against his wishes and make a post when he doesn't want us to. This KK Slider song is annoying. I'm turning off the Animal Crossing mix. Don't worry, cheese. It's just like a community set thing. It's basically a community set design, like, which was like supposed to be these really crazy cards, and it never got finished. And so we were just gonna do like a, well, I mean, it got pretty finished. Like, it was just a random collection of cards. There was very little theming between them, so we were just gonna like post them and be like, here's all the cards we made. They don't really have themes, but like, if you find inspiration from them, then cool, because that's the best we could hope for. But like, someone who worked on the set doesn't really like it and designed most of the cards. Well, they designed about half of the cards, I'd say. in that set, but they don't really like it, so probably will not post it. The ideas were really out of the box. I've reused a couple of them. Yeah, that was the theme. Like, this is a perfect slush card, Arms Robbery. Don't ping him, True. No, don't ping him, Purse. What did I just say? You guys want to see some boring charts? Or do you want to see my master sheet where I typed every name and rarity and class and see I designed it? Do you want to read some boring explanation? In the slush set server, jeez. Which one was my personal fave? Yeah, good question. Let me sort by design again. I don't think I'll be able to pick a top, but I was going to try to pick a top 10. So Volatile Festerbrute would probably make it in. Thrift Robber would make it in. Pilfergeist would make it in. Body Butcher would make it in. Forge Revenant would make it in. Shifting Servant would make it in. Could be Open the Gates? I don't know. Vile Mortician would make it in. Shadow Teachings would make it in. Severance would make it in. Spitfire would make it in. Crypt Shambler would make it in. Pastoral Tailor would make it in. Diligent Archivist, maybe. Curse Collector, maybe. Maybe Last Line Defender and Chronovisionary, but maybe not, also. Reload might make it in. I like that one. I like Bane of Cthulhu. Don't know why everyone hits this card. But Brushwood Sentinel is decent enough. But yeah. Some of the 4 and 5 cards, probably. Yep, and for the worst cards, we can scroll to the bottom and see those. We just talked about some of the worst cards, but yeah. And with that, I guess that concludes this journey. 36 days. Wow. It's not over till I make the post, but it has been quite the journey. I had a lot of fun. I would still like to stream in the future. I don't know how the format will be. Whether people enjoy the design streams or the rating streams, the review streams. Season 2, yeah. I've been calling it Season 1 as a joke because there's probably not going to be a Season 2. But like, I don't know, like, I always kept it open for people to like share card ideas in chat if they have them, and I'll look at them. But people only did it a couple times. So like maybe if I made it more clear that I'm open for people like to give people feedback, then people would be more willing to post their cards for feedback. And I could just do like a more chill stream where I design cards and rate people's cards in chat, and not do this whole like structured 300 cards thing. Just more of like a free form for fun thing. I think that would be fun. Maybe even just like play Hearthstone and just talk about design stuff. I like streaming, like, it's fun. But, yeah, I mean, it's, like, I guess summer's, like, halfway over, so, but I do have a bunch of stuff that I have to get done, so it would, like, I feel pretty burnt out right now, having done this over the past 2 months, so, like, if I was to do a Season 2, it would not be this year, it would be next year. And yeah, just purely rating cards, or just like primarily rating cards and like occasionally making cards. That would be ideal, I think. These are some cards. Good on you, man. Thanks, Purse. I appreciate it. I learned a lot. I really like want to write this post and like share my lessons, even if no one reads it. I think it'll be a good self-reflection. Maybe I'll try to do some more podcast episodes. Like I started writing a podcast episode. I got like 60% done, and then I just like I don't know, never finished the article, right, basically. But so maybe I might do some more podcast episodes, like to focus design topics, instead of just like streaming. I might do some videos. Solo podcast, yeah, it would be a solo podcast. More like a video essay, but without fancy editing, because I don't have time for that, or energy, or software. But yeah, I've had like 2 people message me like, when is the podcast coming back? I'm like, wow, I didn't know anyone cared about it at all. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do the podcast. I'll do the solo episode and see how the response is. I feel like I picked a really poor topic for the first episode, which is like basically how to design a card. That's a bit disingenuous. It's more just like, how do you start designing a card? Basically, the point of the article or podcast episode is like, I think most people when they design a card don't have enough intent or don't know where to start, and so their cards either end up looking all the same or are just like random effects that don't have a purpose. I know it sounds a bit pretentious the way I'm designing. I'm saying it right now, but I'm not. The way I say it in the article is like, it's not like most people's cards are have no purpose. It was basically just like most custom sets I see have too many cards that do the same thing, or like we're designed from the same standpoint. And it basically just lists a bunch of different ways to design cards, like top down, bottom up. I don't actually use those. I use those terms, but I like kind of like theory crafted my own different way. Like you could even just like start from a voice line. Like think of a cool voice line and design a minion around that, you know. It's a bit tough because like podcast episode topics for what I can cover is like limited to custom Hearthstone design. I don't want to talk too much about game design because it's like my pet peeve when people talk about game design for games that they didn't design. I don't know why, but like I'm not gonna sit here and talk about like this card's well designed, this card's not well designed, like Hearthstone is a well-designed game. This is good. This is bad. Just like I did design the game. Why should I have the authority to talk about it? I feel like my specialty is making custom cards, so I should probably talk about custom cards. If that makes any sense. Yeah, I mean, I've designed video games and a card game before. Maybe that's the source of my pet peeve, but I don't know. I don't like game design YouTubers generally. They annoy me. There's a couple really good ones. And there's a couple that I don't think they know what they're talking about. I'll list the ones that I like. I think I want to get the name right. Game Maker's Toolkit is pretty high quality. Yeah, there's a lot of game design YouTubers. Like a lot. There's Game Maker's Toolkit, which I like. There's Extra Credits, which I think they're pretty good. I don't know, like, I don't often watch a video and then feel like I learned a bunch, but they're good. There's what's his name? There's a couple who are more like analysis channels. So there's Joseph Anderson, who I like. There is Matthew Matosis, who I really like. The way that he treats a video essay is unlike any other YouTuber. There's a guy who does magic design. What's his name? There's Ristic Studies, right? That guy does a bit more, less design focused and more like historical, I don't know, like conceptual videos, high concept videos. There was this magic design YouTuber who like talked about flavor exclusively. I didn't really like him though. The guy who mostly does videos on Hearthstone design is called The Penniless Player. I've only watched like one of his videos and it was pretty good, but like, I don't know. I would need to watch more to evaluate opinion. And I'm not gonna name some of the YouTubers I don't like, but yeah, like there's, I mean that guy, I forget his name, but like that guy's not even, that guy just makes like video essays on things that he doesn't know about and doesn't do full research. That video like pisses me off a lot. But there's a lot of videos that are titled just like, this game has a great design, and you click on it and it's just someone like, it's so well designed, I like it so much, it's so fun, I like playing this game, and it's like, what the heck? What are you talking about? Or like, this game has awful design because it's bad. I'm strawmanning so hard right now, but like a lot of the game design videos on YouTube are like worthless in my opinion. Yeah, Austin McConnell, yeah. That guy. Yeah, that was a terrible research video. I really wish he would have just taken that video down. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but I don't know what I'm gonna do in the game design field next. I kinda wanna try designing a board game. I like making video games, but it's also just like a lot of time is just spent in development. It can take a while to get to a point where you can like actually like realize your ideas, whereas a board game takes like no effort. It's almost purely design. Yeah, I made like 3 prototypes and like 1 card game, and they all sucked because it's really hard to make a game from scratch. Or maybe I'm just bad at it. But it's hard. I think it's pretty hard. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I want to try making a card game video game, something like Split Aspire. I think that'd be cool because like once I got the base like engine working, then I could like easily add cards and stuff, and that would be like fun, I guess. Or Hearthstone. Nice. Yeah, I don't really know where the future for design is for me. I don't like Spell Source. Designing custom Hearthstone cards is like just a competition of making the most interesting effect, which like there's a certain skill involved, but it's also like, dude, like literally we don't know how fun any of these cards are. We don't know how balanced any of these cards are because we can't play with them. and don't say spell source purse. There's ways to estimate balance, yeah, but like, I don't know. Who am I to say this is a 5-star design card? Like, I've never played with this card. No one in the existence of Hearthstone has ever played with this card. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's why I tried to make this this design rating system like as objective as possible. Because like the balance is really more like balanceability. The flavor is like pretty objective in my opinion. It's a little subjective. And then design is like I focused almost entirely on how players would play the card and what it would feel like to be a player. Like there's cards that I rated 1 star that I think have really interesting effects. Hold on, I'm gonna look at the. Hold on, I'm gonna black this out because I need to open something real quick. But I can see what my average rating was. Hold on. Okay, my average rating for my cards was 3.46. Oh no, wait, hold on, sorry, that's wrong. It was 3.21. Which is yeah, so if you added up all my design ratings in specific, because that's the one that I think is most representative of the holistic score that I would give the card, it would result in an average of 3.21. If you 3.212 to be exact, and if you add up all the community ratings from all the spreadsheets, you get 3.21. I'm dead ass serious. It's the same number. Here, I can show you. I can show this now that I pulled it up. So yeah, like here's all the ratings that I did. This is on the left, this column right here. These are the last two. Remember the 300 cards are both rated 3. And then the column on the right, which to be fair, it's about halfway done, but these are all the community ratings. These are like holistically combining a bunch of people. The average of all my ratings is 3.212, and the community average is 3.21. So yeah. I don't know what this says, but it says something. Probably something more about numbers than about people's ability to evaluate cards, but yeah, it's some Area 51 stuff. And I guess the highest rated card is Flightless Pterodax, and the lowest rated card is Unnaturalized. But yeah. I'm not going to Area 51. I think it's funny though. It's one of the more like refreshing memes I've seen in a while. I don't know what it is, but like something about the custom card communities just interests me a lot. It's a shame that I don't like collective very much because I think it's got a neat concept, but it would be cool if there was a game where you could program your own cards and add them to the game. I don't know how that would work, but I'm running out of things to say though as I reflect on this process. So with that, thank you guys all for joining me over these past 36 days. A board game where you make your own cards. It could work as a board game actually, because like you don't need to program anything as long as you write the rules clearly. But yeah, this has been pretty fun doing this live stream thing. I'd like to keep it up somehow, like I said, but it won't be a little bit until I stream again. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon-ish.